Praying at your workplace during office hours. Is it right or wrong? Welcome to PPG Prayer Community. Greetings, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that often sparks debate: prayer in the workplace. Is it appropriate? What does the Bible say about it? Stay tuned as we explore the spiritual and practical sides of this issue. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's get started. Praying at work. Is it right or wrong? Praying at one's workplace is a topic that often stirs questions about faith, professionalism, freedom, and boundaries. Whether it is right or wrong to pray at work depends on various factors, including the context, intent, and manner in which prayer is conducted. Let's examine this topic from multiple perspectives: biblical, ethical, legal, and practical, so that a balanced and informed understanding can be reached. 1. Biblical perspective on prayer at work. Prayer is encouraged without ceasing. The Bible encourages believers to maintain a consistent life of prayer. Pray without ceasing. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17. This verse doesn't mean that believers must always pray aloud or in public view. Instead, it encourages a lifestyle where prayer is a continual part of a Christian's mindset and daily rhythm. Even in a busy workplace, a believer can quietly connect with God, keeping their heart open to Him throughout the day, without causing disruption or imposing their practice on colleagues who may not share the same beliefs. Jesus and secret prayer. Jesus emphasized the importance of private prayer. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Matthew 6 verse 6. This shows that prayer need not always be public or demonstrative. At work, a private moment of silent prayer during a break or before a task can be powerful and appropriate. See work as worship. Scripture teaches that work itself can be a form of worship. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Colossians 3 verse 23. Praying at work can help believers remain focused, faithful, and humble in their duties, viewing their labor as service to God. 2. Ethical and social considerations. Respect for others. It is ethically important to consider the workplace environment. While it's right for individuals to express their faith, it's also important not to impose it on others or create discomfort. For example, loud, disruptive, or frequent group prayers in shared spaces may not be respectful or appropriate unless the culture of the workplace welcomes such practices. Balance and discretion. Praying at work should not interfere with professional responsibilities. Praying during break times, before starting work, or silently in one's heart during the day is usually appropriate and considerate. It reflects a mature balance between spiritual devotion and professional duty. 3. Legal perspective, freedom of religion. Rights to religious expression. In many countries, including the United States, employees have the legal right to practice their religion, which includes the right to pray. Employers generally cannot prohibit personal prayer as long as it does not interfere with work or disrupt others. For example, under U.S. law, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, employers must make reasonable accommodations for an employee's religious practices unless doing so causes undue hardship to the business. Workplace policies. However, prayer at work must also respect workplace policies and culture. It is wise for employees to be familiar with HR guidelines and communicate respectfully with supervisors if they need specific accommodations for prayer, e.g., a quiet space or designated break time. 4. Practical guidelines for praying at work. Here are some thoughtful ways to pray at your workplace without conflict. Silent prayer. Offer quick prayers in your heart throughout the day. No one needs to know. Start your day with prayer. Pray before your shift begins, either in your car, at your desk, or in a private space. Use breaks wisely. Use lunch or break times to pray, read scripture, or meditate. Prayer groups. If your workplace allows, form voluntary prayer groups that meet during breaks. Be respectful and discreet. Avoid forcing prayer on coworkers or interrupting work to do so. Lead by example. Let your actions reflect your prayer life, through kindness, patience, and integrity. 5. Examples of faith at work. A. Daniel in Babylon. Daniel prayed 3 times a day even while serving in a foreign government. Now when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed. Daniel 6 verse 10. Despite the risks, Daniel remained faithful in his prayer life while excelling in his work duties. His example shows that it is possible to maintain a strong spiritual life without neglecting professional responsibilities. B. Modern-day Christians. Many modern Christian professionals pray quietly before meetings, ask for wisdom silently during difficult tasks, or even begin the day by dedicating their work to God. Some workplaces even host optional prayer breakfasts or faith-based employee groups. 6. When prayer at work might be inappropriate. Though prayer is a sacred act, there are situations where public or vocal prayer might be misapplied. During meetings or presentations, unless invited or appropriate, pausing a professional setting for prayer can be disruptive. In multi-faith environments, it's important to respect the religious diversity of colleagues. As a performance distraction, using prayer as a reason to avoid tasks or deadlines is not godly stewardship. Workplace prayer, when practiced wisely, can be a source of strength, peace, and even witness. It reminds us that God is not just present in churches or quiet places, but in offices, classrooms, hospitals, and factories too. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verse 6. Another big question is, why have a checkmark when it is right to pray during work hours? 1. When done privately and respectfully. Silent or brief prayers at your desk or in your heart, especially before a challenging task or meeting, are perfectly appropriate. This aligns with 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17, pray without ceasing. It speaks of an inner attitude of continual connection with God. 2. During breaks or lunch time. Using your official break times for prayer is entirely acceptable and often encouraged. Some workplaces even have designated quiet rooms for meditation or prayer. 3. With consent or in a voluntary setting. If you pray with co-workers who also want to, such as in a prayer group during lunch, that's a beautiful expression of shared faith. It's important that participation is optional and not pressured. 4. When it doesn't interrupt work responsibilities. God is honored when we're faithful stewards of our time and tasks. A quick prayer that keeps us focused or calm can even improve productivity. Crossmark when it may be considered wrong or inappropriate to pray at workplace. 1. If it disrupts other. Praying loudly or publicly in a way that distracts or makes co-workers uncomfortable can cross a line of professional respect and boundaries. As Paul advises in Romans 12 verse 18, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. 2. If it hinders your work. If prayer becomes a way to avoid responsibilities or takes time from what you're being paid to do, it could be viewed as poor work ethic. Colossians 3 verse 23 reminds us, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord. 3. If it's used to preach or pressure others. Turning prayer into a tool for proselytizing during work hours can violate workplace policies and damage relationships. Prayer should always be rooted in love, humility, and wisdom. Balance is key. Yes, it is right to pray during work hours, as long as it's done discreetly, respectfully, and responsibly. Prayer is a vital part of a believer's life, and it doesn't have to stop at the office door. However, it must always be practiced with sensitivity to time, place, and people. Let your light shine before others, Matthew 5 verse 16. Not by noise or force, but by grace, wisdom, and love in all you do. Praying during work hours, right or wrong? The question of whether it's right or wrong to pray during work hours depends on several important factors: intent, timing, workplace culture, and respect for others. Here's a clear breakdown to help answer this thoughtfully. Conclusion: is it right or wrong? It is right to pray at work, provided you do it with respect, discretion, and balance. It doesn't interfere with your work or the comfort of others. You understand your legal rights and responsibilities. Your heart is sincere, not showy or self-righteous. Thank you for watching. Let us know your opinion on the comment section. Share this video to educate others.